I'm Kelly Summers, and this season I'll be asking some of the biggest names in football the questions they don't normally get asked, to find out more about the person behind the player. The first half will be on football, the second about their life away from the game. This isn't just any interview, this is the football interview, and this episode is with Wayne Rooney. Wayne, welcome along, our first guest on the football interview. This is an opportunity to get to know people, players, yourself a little bit better. So firstly, the question that I'm always going to start with in these interviews, what does football mean to you?
As a young boy, it's all I ever wanted to do, to play football, whether that was in the school, in the house, out on the streets. And the emotion of the game of trying to win and the excitement, it was just a massive adrenaline rush, and then obviously I was fortunate enough to go on and play professionally and have a good long career really, and now I'm living in a different way really as a parent and with my children involved in football, so I think it's something which will always be with me as long as I'm alive.
Can you remember your first ever team, your first proper team that you played in?
Yeah, I think it was the Copperhouse Colts. It was under 9 team. I think I was about 7.
I read, and some of your goal scoring records were quite bonkers, weren't they, in those early days? Can you remember thinking, oh my gosh, I'm kind of scoring a lot more than the other players here?
Yeah, I think I was just greedy and passed the ball. So, yeah, you obviously scored a lot of goals, and I used to keep all the games on the fridge in the house. So my mum used to do it with me, and we'd write the game down, what the score was, and if I scored. So we had that every season. I'd have that on the fridge in my mum's house. So yeah, and when you're young, there's a lot of goals scored normally in games as well, and it was really special growing up.
Was there one moment, maybe a turning point in your career that kind of enabled you to go on and do what you did?
I always remember when I was about 14 really, and I think I was doing things you probably shouldn't have been doing, and Colin Harvey, who was the under-19 manager at the time, he seen me crossing the road with a bag of cider at 14, which of course is wrong. And he pulled me in and said, you know, if you keep doing this, then you're going to throw everything, your talent, your ability away, and you need to focus yourself because you've got the ability to go on and play for, not just for Everton, but for England. And I think from then is when I thought, you know, I need to stop doing this, and I stopped going out with my mates quite a lot then, and that conversation with Colin Harvey was definitely the turning point.
You've mentioned Colin Harvey there, but is there one person in particular that's potentially had the biggest impact on your career?
I couldn't say one. I think my mum and dad equally, you know, and I see it now obviously, and when I'm taking my kids to football and stuff, and my mum didn't drive and my dad worked. So I remember, you know, having to get 3 buses to training with my mum at times, and both my mum and dad and had huge roles to play, which as a kid you probably don't appreciate as much. You take it for granted, the stress, the work they put in. You know, I've got 2 young brothers as well who they had to do it for. You do take that for granted, and it's only really when you have kids and then you see it and you understand the sacrifices they made for you to achieve what you can achieve. Are
you that taxi dad now to football? Is that your role now?
Yeah, well, we have to be, because we've got 4 boys, so they're all in different places as well. So yeah, me and Clean are often at different places, and the kids, the lads always want me to be there as well, so I have to mix it up which ones I go and watch. So yeah, but yeah, it's non-stop really, every day of the week.
Keeping with your football career, if there was one match that you could go back and relive, and you can change the outcome if you want, what would it be?
I'd say if I had to choose one, I'd say the Arsenal FA Cup final in 2005. I think that was the performance, how we played against a very good Arsenal team, and then we lost on penalties. That would be the one I'd say I'd go back and change, because it was the one we probably deserved to win. You can look at the Barcelona finals and the game against Chelsea in the FA Cup final, but that Arsenal game was one we definitely deserved to win, so I think that would be the one I'd go back and change.
There's probably not loads of games that you would change because you won so many of them. If it was just a game that you could relive?
It'd probably be the Croatia game, and I didn't play in 2008 for England. I think we had to draw or win the game to qualify for Euro 2008, and that one was horrible being there, and where the players on the bench, and I was just sat behind them. I can't remember if I was injured or suspended. I can't remember why I didn't play, but sitting there and watching the players on the bench, and then obviously you see what happened with Steve McClaren as well, and rain was pouring down, and losing the game and not going to Euro 2008, I think that was the one time I felt embarrassed about being a player.
As for yourself after football, since playing you've been a manager, you're now in the punditry world with us here at the BBC. What was that decision like for you when you finished playing? Did you always knew you wanted to try management? Was punditry something you were interested in? What's that decision like? Yeah,
certainly with management first, I think something I always wanted to go into, and I seen as a challenge. I think I'm always one who likes to be challenged as well, and to take them head on, but also understand that there's a chance that it might go wrong as well. I don't mind taking that risk and taking that challenge, where I know some former players maybe mightn't do that, and you might wait for the perfect opportunity. But yeah, and the Derby County one, really, I was playing there and Philip Cochrane got sacked and we went into administration, and it was a really tough start to management, but I felt we'd done a really good job there. At DC United, when I went out there, I thought we'd done a good job, even though it doesn't get portrayed that way. DC United have finished bottom the 3 seasons, I think it was, before I went. We got them a point within playoffs, and Birmingham one was, everything was wrong about that, to be honest, the timing of it. I think the fans didn't really give me an opportunity. We lost games, so I don't think anything was right about that. It felt right at the time, but looking back, I don't think it was. And Plymouth, I think we were doing okay for what we had, and then obviously the decision was made. And after that, I thought, I don't know why I keep putting myself in these positions. And obviously then looked into doing punditry, done bits of work with that, enjoyed it, and then just felt the time was right to go into it. So yeah, here I am.
We've seen bits of it, and of course you've got a new podcast with us at BBC Sport too. But what sort of pundit is Wayne Rooney going to be? What can we expect?
I think I'm quite fair and honest, really, and I feel that's the only way to be, really. I think if you're, and I always think, and I say this with, if you're a player, if you're a manager, and obviously now a pundit, I think the same values are in all three of them, that the fans aren't stupid. If you expect me to sit there and talk about and try and sugarcoat things which I can see, which other pundits can see, which the fans can see, then I don't think I should be doing it. So there's some pundits out there who try and go over the top as well, which I think all I can do is try and be fair with what I'm seeing from a team point of view, a manager's point of view, an individual player point of view, and give my honest opinion on that. And I'm sure that some players or managers might get annoyed with that, but you know, I think you have to be honest with it and tell the truth. What would Wayne Rooney the player think of Wayne Rooney the pundit? Probably wouldn't like him. No, and I get that. I've obviously been a player, and we used to sit there and see pundits and used to think, why would he say that he knows what it's like being here? But then I think when you finish playing as a player, you realise and you understand why pundits say things, and as a player, I've been criticised by many pundits when I was a player. I was never one to phone him up or get annoyed, and it actually drove me a little bit more to say, okay, I'm going to make sure the next time you're speaking that you're saying good things. So yeah, that's where everyone's different. And mentally, I think players are in different places with the mental health as well, so that be a big factor on them. So if you're criticising Manchester United players this season, it's actually you trying to motivate them? No, at all. You want to see, I want to see Man United do well, of course I do, and I have. I'm very good mates with Johnny Evans, and I criticised him last season. You're honest, ultimately. And then I'm with him 2 or 3 days later. Sorry, mate. No, but he knows as well, you're being honest, and if you're speaking truthfully on what you feel, then it makes it very difficult for a player to come to you and question why you're saying things. Okay, well that's Wayne Rooney, the pundit, the footballer. I think I'm more interested in Wayne Rooney, the person.
How do you switch off? How do you relax?
I always feel, and I've done this as a player, I'd like to have some time just to sit there and even watching TV series, or when, you know, the X Factor or The Voice, or
You like a reality program,
whenever them, not all of them. Whenever I'm watch something and just chill and with a glass of wine and just switch off from everything really, and the kids are in bed or they're watching something somewhere else, and me and Clean will sit down and watch it. I think it's important just to switch your mind off from everything really, and I think when I go home, I used to do this as a player, I'd leave anything football-wise at the gate and come in and wouldn't even talk about football.
It must be quite hard to switch off from football in your house with your boys, because Kai is in the Manchester United Academy and it sounds like he's doing pretty well.
Yeah, he is. He's doing really well, and I was at a wedding actually at the weekend, my cousin's wedding, and they're doing the speeches, and I've got my phone out watching Kai playing in Croatia.
If they didn't know that before, they know that now. Wasn't actually paying attention at the wedding.
So yeah, I jumped up. He scored in the last minute, and he was offside, but I jumped up and.
Did they think you were just cheering a speech?
Yeah, no, but he loves it. He wants to be a football player. I think that's the most important thing, that he wants to do it. And he's working hard to try and do it.
Describe what he's like, because a lot of people watching this won't know what kind of player he is.
Yeah, he plays as a striker. He plays off the right. He's strong. He's not the tallest, but he'll be taller than me, I think. But he understands the game. I think tactically he really understands the game and thinks about it. What he's done throughout the years, like he comes home, he cooks for himself. He speaks fluent Spanish.
Fluent.
So he's doing everything he can to try and, you know, go and live his dream.
What's it like watching him?
Yeah, really, if I'm being honest, over the last few months has really been the first time I could go on a consistent basis and
Are
to
you a
watch him.
shouter? Do you coach from the sidelines?
No.
No?
I think it's important that he listens to his coaches and understands, and then when we have the parents meeting with the coaches, I can give my thoughts and opinions, which a lot of the time is the same. There's a lot of other parents who are doing the shouting on the touchline, so I stay quiet and I think have a conversation with him on the way home and ask him how he feels about the game, what he could do better, what he done well. I think doing it in that way it suits him, I think.
Favourite film?
It was The Shawshank Redemption.
Okay.
Over the last few years, I think I'm going to have to say The Wolf of Wall Street.
I was hoping you were going to say, what was it, Sister Act? Which is the
Sister Act. No, I love Sister Act. I love musicals.
The reason I say Sister Act is because what important game did you watch that film before?
Yeah, before the final, the Champions League final.
It's not a normal preparation, is it, for a massive game?
Do you know what? It was just the longest afternoon ever.
Oh, okay.
And I'd always try and watch a movie anyway before the evening game.
Tell me something about you that will surprise me.
I don't know. The one thing I can only probably think of is like I cry at everything on TV. X Factor, when people go through and I start crying. So and tearing up, yeah. So I know as a player I was quite aggressive and whatever, but I actually am quite soft, really.
I think that will surprise people. Yeah, that's Wayne Rooney away from the football pitch. What would you say people get wrong about you the most?
No secret, I didn't even take GCSEs, didn't sit any. People assume because of that that I'm not educated, which I think is really wrong. And I've made a conscious effort actually when I was at Everton and during Manchester United to educate myself on a lot of different things, which
what sort of things?
On Black history, on religion, and the reason I done that was I wanted to be able to hold conversations with my teammates and who maybe are from different backgrounds, and obviously over the last few years it's come out more about people should educate themselves more on that, and that's something I've done really to help me with my teammates and help understand how they've been brought up, what life they've been brought up on. And so yeah, I think that's probably something which people don't really understand. So
what are you most proud of?
My family. I think that's the main thing. That's why you're doing things, and now obviously being a bit older, my kids growing a little bit more and seeing them grow into teenagers, me elder two, and I'm helping progress and helping them go up in this life. That's what I'm proud of, that's what I do everything for, and so yeah, I think that's the one thing which I'll always be proud of.
And if you could only achieve or do one more thing in the rest of your life, what would it be?
Maybe become the next James Bond.
That is the perfect way to end. Wayne, thank you so much for being our first guest. Of course, we can hear lots more stories like that, I hope, on your new podcast show this season.
We definitely will, yeah.
Yeah, looking forward to lots more revelations like that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.